Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are here for the third and final division, the Great Ball Division Draft Recap. Uh, we are here. I am back again with my good friend Alex, aka Simsy Bull, and I am here with
You.
another new guest. I'm here with Mr. Cheesy. How are we doing, sir?
What's up, bro? Happy to be here.
Dude, welcome back to Draft League. It's been a long
Let's
time.
go. Get hype,
Yeah,
cheesy.
let's go, dude.
It's gonna be a
Come
fun
on.
season for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when was how long has it been? And dude, we were in a draft league way back when together, VGC. So it's hype to have you
I
back.
think
But how long has it
it was
been?
GAPL like a while ago. I mean, I've just been sticking to like the university draft leagues, but I haven't gotten into like a VG draft league in a while.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
That's hype. Honestly, are you ready to work your way up? Because that's all you could do in this division right now. In the Great Ball division, it's only going up from here. But like, that's the fun of it. Like, you get your experience back. You're getting like your feet are getting back in the water. Like, you get to just play some matches, have fun, like creative team build. Like,
For sure. I think the only thing holding me back is time. You got to take more seasons and catch up, but I'll be there for sure.
Yeah,
no,
that's
100%.
definitely one thing we had back in the day was time when it was like peak COVID draft league when everyone was
For
home.
sure.
Oh,
Everyone was home and then they couldn't leave their house. So all dude, I would spend hours and hours doing prep matches because I had nothing else to do back in the day. Uh,
yeah, where else are you gonna go at that
Dude,
point?
just sit and
Like,
call with
Mhm.
Wex and Justin and run games and do a whole league
oh
podcast and
man,
every team. Those were the good old days. But
Yes,
we're
sir.
we're in good days right now. We're in on Pokemon Champions, playing with Megas, playing with three divisions. Never thought the draft league would get this big. So let's start talking about our third division, which is crazy to say. Um, we have Cat. Cat is back. Cat and the Skitty Wow Kitties. Cat loves Skitty. Shout out. Got an interesting rain team. The first rain team I think we could talk about across all three divisions that actually took a rain setter. We have there's not manual rain. There is a Polytoad. Opting for Polytoad over Pelipper, which I think is interesting. I think both have their strengths and weaknesses. But uh, pairing Polytoad and Archaludon, and then two pretty strong Megas that definitely benefit from the rain and Meganium and Skarmory. Skarmory, an interesting one, not a Pokemon we've talked about so far across any of the divisions. Um, I think base 110 speed, a super. Skarmory kind of flipping roles completely, going from like this bulky physical mon defensively to a fast offensive mon, which is really cool. Ignoring redirection also. Um, and then rounds out the team with some solid B tiers: Swift Swim, Overquill, Swampert, not mega, but still a Wave Crash, Wide Guard Mon, and B tier. I think Gliscor is a cool uh, ground type for this team. Obviously, Politoed and Skarmory not really liking. I mean, not really liking the electric moves, and I mean Mega Beedrill just did really well in a tournament on a rain team. So overall, I think a really solid draft from Cat.
oh, there's some superb B tiers. All right,
Oh,
you got Mega
all right.
B drill, but no, I think just like good rain support overall. I like the fact that she opted like not to take Mega Swampert in the S tier, but to get like Mega Meganium, who could kind of maybe offer like a little bit more coverage options. Like, sure, it doesn't have the Swift Swim or the water boosted moves in rain, but I think Meganium Skarmory can kind of like be a cool pairing on their own where they cover each other pretty pretty okay. Skarmory being a fast tailwind setter and like ignoring redirection is like a pretty fun niche too for the team. It pairs well with the Arch Polytoad. You have Overquill as your Swift Swim mon, but I don't even think that's like terrible because I think Overquill is a pretty underrated Beamon, just having Intimidate alone and like a good Dark Poison typing, and the always fun minimize strats that have just been popping up. But just good pieces, good speed control options for like the fast mons, and I think it should be a pretty fun rain team. I like to see how her matchups like vary in like weather based matchups against other weathers, or like having to play against that like with no manual like prankster setter in this case. But I think all in all, it looks like a fun team, like a fun rain team, and like Mega Meganium Skarmory, no one else drafted, so I'm kind of rooting for those solo megas out there that haven't been picked in the other leagues.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like one of the biggest things, at least I see out of like the C tier picks, is you pick up something like Miastic Female that has a good speed tier, has fake out, has those screens. And even though it's not prankster, it can still set up that rain for their Caledon before it moves, which can be really valuable. And out of the all the C tiers, it can definitely be a more valuable pick to include on the team. I
Hmm.
think also Mega Meganium just tends to be really good in Draft League over something like Mega Venusaur because you'd pick Mega Venusaur for its more defensive typing into the regular meta VGC meta game because of stuff like Sneasler, Poison types, King Gambit Steel types. But in
Floettes,
Draft League,
yeah.
having a strong Fairy type that has almost has access to basically stab fire attacks as well, it just feels so strong and like you have so much coverage and like your defensive typing is actually like infinitely better in draft league just because of like your offensive coverage and then obviously your defensive coverage to cover against our Caledon's weaknesses. The other thing is that both steel types on the team, and this is something I really like about drafting in rain teams, is that both of them do not share any weaknesses despite both being steel types, which is really excellent because you can just bring both of these Pokemon together and they can function well and just bring you double steel bulk stat like bulk without the weakness of running two of the same Pokemon.
I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point. I like that actually a lot. Now that you mention that too.
I also like the other small things about the team. Like you're getting a lot. You have two fake out Pokemon in the C tier. You obviously have the Swift Swim support and offense with Overquill as well as Wide Guard with Swampert. So I think Gliscor also gets Tailwind too. So it's an alternative Tailwind setter with Mega Skarmory. So it's definitely a lot of strong supportive pieces here too.
Does Scarborough get Rain Dance by any chance? I mean, like that's a mon that's faster than Meowstic in that sense, like you said, for like a fast manual setter. Maybe Beedrill even gets it for that matter. But like, no, it's definitely there with speed and stuff.
For sure.
I'm currently fact checking Skarmory Rain. It does not get Rain Dance, but
Oh,
I still think it's a super strong Pokemon on this team. And like you said, not both for Mega is not drafted in any division. So actually, really excited to see um, all of them go to work. I don't know if we talked about Beedrill at all either. So all three Megas actually not drafted. I don't think so. Super excited to see them. But we move from rain over to a little bit of sun. We have Phoenix and the Glasgow Gengars. I'm could be wrong. Phoenix, a longtime member of this draft league. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Torkoal is his favorite Pokemon. Pretty sure it's a mon he's very comfortable with. So not surprised to see him go that route. Got arguably the best Trick Room pairing for regular saying Trick Room next to Torkoal. Has redirection with Ariados. Would have maybe liked to see a fake out. I guess Simipour technically is the fake out. Not
yeah.
that I think that's a real mon by any means, but um, it is fake out to get Trick Room up. You do have redirection with
Mm.
Ariados to get Trick Room up. But also just a really cool core of like Vileplume Megazard X in A tier with the Sun mode. I think Megazard X, a Pokemon we haven't talked about. Again, another Mega that went completely undrafted in every other division, but super, super good value, I think, in A tier. I think it's a. Obviously, when a Mega evolves and now becomes a Dragon, Tough Claws, Dragon Claw, super strong. Gonna be super strong in the Sun, of course. And it's gonna be interesting to see how this Mon does. More of like a. I mean, Alex, you've used it before. What are your thoughts on the Megazard pick?
I think this Mega Zard pick, it actually cooks in like so much of a different way than Zard X traditionally runs. Like Zard X and VGC could be a little boring because you're running kind of like a double fake out, coaching Sneasler. But I think like Zard X and Sun sounds like so fun. I think like the the Sun setter alone and Torkoal being an elite one and like Farig being an elite trick room setter, like I said in the other video, just benefit Zardex so much, and like it gives it a different mode for like the Mega as well. I also like the Mega Steelix pairing a lot because that's a mon that I was looking at to pair with my Charizard as like a counter Mega for those other matchups. Like, um, Quaquaval is interesting. At first, you think it's bad, like looking at it like in on a sunsetting team, but it provides a different type of setup that like I think could also benefit how he like wants to operate his team, and like in a rain matchup now, like you have a like pretty legitimate answer for the most part. It might be a little bit on the frailer side, but like that's what Focus Sash is for. Redirection with Ariados, like this mon has been taken in all three divisions for the simple reason of clicking Rage Powder, and that's pretty cool for that mon, honestly. I shout out to him. Scolipede, another cool Pokemon, like some fun options in C tier, like you said, and the fake out that like Zardex usually kind of looks for when it wants to click Dragon Dance. Um, Zardex does one thing. It's very kind of one dimensional, but I think the one thing it does do, it does really good, and that's hit other Pokemon. Like whether you're not setting up or not setting up, and like with the option of like D Dance and Belly Drum, like Zardex alone, like it might not like do like different things every week, but the one thing it's gonna do really well. Another complaint I might have actually about this team though is it looks like a little bit suspectable to fake out. In that matter, or not fake out. Wow, I'm sorry. Intimidate.
Okay.
My bad.
I was gonna say-
I was thinking Ensign. But I was thinking of the other thing that Ensign did in the moment. I meant intimidate. No competitive or Defiant Mon to like really be able to like benefit, and both your Megas are weak to Intimidate, like for that matter. So like, it's just gonna see how he kind of operates around that early. But I think over like all in all, like just a really fun team. Vileplume is the chlorophyll setter that I didn't really go over, but like, shout out Vileplume. It's there. It's back. It's having fun. It's clicking after you.
Mhm. And I mean, as being the other person in this division that did draft Sun, a lot of these pieces were actually on my mind. For example, drafting Ariados, I was kind of gonna grab it a little bit late, which falls to me being drafting that later than I should have. But I think Vileplume is a really strong option, at least in this metagame, because if you look at Draft League in general, like it goes back to being a low power format. There isn't really much that's faster than it, like other than like your average guys like Sneasler and like these top tier Pokemon. A lot of Pokemon are not going to be able to outspeed Vileplume in the sun, so you can use that after you. You can use that to sleep powder. You can use that to even use energy ball or solar beam. That's one of the biggest things that Vileplume can provide to the team. And I mean, I have something similar on my team with the Victory Bell, but having a value pick like this that can take advantage of your son in a different way, the status is just so strong. I think it also helps in a lot of ways to get Trick Room set up or trying to disrupt the opponent as much as possible. With only one fake out thing setter or fake out Pokemon, there isn't really like you have to be able to disrupt the opponent as much as possible so you can get your Trick Room up. Because this team looks like it'll do super well when it's in Trick Room. The Torkoal obviously hits as hard as possible. The Mega Steelix is there to not only hit as hard as possible in Trick Room, but it's also a Wide Guard Pokemon. So it's not like you're going to be susceptible to earthquakes or rock slides when you have a Mega Steelix, and usually it does pretty well into those Pokemon that have those moves other than like single target stomping tantrum. But I mean, Mega Steelix has like a 200 defense stat, so it does well into those Pokemon as well. I mean, also just other things you guys mentioned, like Mega Zardex, Flare Blitz in the Sun, like that's KOing like most of these Pokemon on this draft board.
There's not a thing that can resist that.
Yeah.
Hmm. And I think there's some there's some also funny stuff on here as well. I know Slurpuff gets unburdened, so you could be running some cool strats with that. Maybe a white herb or like a different item to be able to burn that. And Scolipede as well with setting with being able to baton pass or possibly just set up by itself. So there's a lot of cool tools you can use here, and I think that this team's going to do pretty well. It's just they're going to have to be able to make sure to get Trick Room up, and I think that's going to be one of the biggest questions going into their season.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Charizard and Slurpuff are both still, I think, in Champions Belly Drum capable, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty
100%.
sure.
Yeah. So,
That's what I was saying with the attack setup, kind of with Zardex
Yeah.
too. Like some weeks, like redirection, I guess, and fake out alone, like it might be the bare minimum of those tools, but like it's there. Like you get a belly drum off too, like kind of becomes
Yeah,
scary.
I think
Like
unburdened citrus berry belly drum slurp up is really cool value in C tier. It'd be interesting to see if he ever brings it.
mhm.
But next speak we a whole lot of weathers in this division so far. We got the goat that is Germ. Shout out Germ. Was here. He's been here. He's been here since season one, all the way back in 2020, 2021. Not hasn't played every single season. You know, he comes and goes, as he pleases, as he can. He's the goat. He has made our logo, uh, and he's just the nicest guy ever. So happy that Germ's back. Um, and he drafted a little sand team. Anyone want to take the ball on the sand team?
Yeah, Excadrill, Corviknight, Hippowdon, Mega Scovillain is like it's different than the Sand Team like reviewed in Ultra Ball, but because different Sand Setter, different Mon like taking advantage like spamming EQ, and now you like pair it with a really good redirection Mon, in Mega Scovillain for that matter, and just like a good Mega overall. If I'm not mistaken, it might be like the only Scovillain taken in the draft also, so
At
it's
least
gonna be
the
pretty
mega
cool to
variant,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool to see what this Mon can do. I think he got good value out of his C tier picks too. I think what really falls off for me is I think the B tiers like are like they're kind of like all kind of just there. But I think like alone with the S and A's, he's gonna have a lot of good matchups. Kind of, Ditto I guess could punish any Pokemon that like could threaten his team or threaten setup in that matter. Belly Bolt's him on. It's a fun electric
Bellybolt
type.
is Germ's signature Pokemon. That's his goat. So
I
it's here
like
for
Belly
style
Bolt.
points.
Yeah, it could do some things in like Trick Room and stuff too. If it uh well, there's no Trick Room on this team, so but if someone sets up Trick Room for him, and then Lucario we talked about, it's just a good typing, good Pokemon like offensively. Mega Barbaracle, another interesting Mega. I don't think anyone actually drafted that. I think maybe the regular Barbaracle got taken, but a Tough Claws that actually changes its typing is pretty cool. It gets rid of that 4 times weakness. It's a Shell Smash Pokemon. And with arguably one of the best redirectors too. There's no fake out, sadly enough, though, on this team. But I think he's got like some fun tools to play around. I just think that like the B tiers might be like missing some real support that they could offer for his team, whether it be like maybe a Trick Room setter for some of the slower mons or um, speed control or mitigation. But all in all, I think he's gonna have a fun season with this team.
For sure. I think one of the things that I'm a little scared of is that I feel like Mega Scovillain's role in this team is going to be a little interesting because it's the primary special attacker that you're going to be having to use other than Lucario and Belly Bolt. So are you going to be using
Mhm.
it as a Rage Powder Pokemon, or are you going to be using it as an offensive piece, which is going to be the biggest question. I mean, obviously you can switch between weeks to weeks, but it's just I think also obviously being a sand team, you are leaning more to the physical side, but it just seemed you might want to at least you might having more special attackers might be a little bit better for the team, just because it takes a little bit of the weight off of Mega Scoville, and at least in that sense. I do really like the cores of Exca Sand with Corviknight. I think it's really cool to be able to have like bulk up Corviknight. It's just with those same Pokemon, you're also sharing a lot of typings. So it's just you're gonna have to be able to prep into opposing teams that might be bringing a lot of firepower or have alternative ways to change the weather. But I
Mhm.
think for just building a sand team, it just looks like a really fun team to be able to play around with. And I actually got to Master Ball tier with Shell Smash Mega Barbaracle, so I will never hate on that Pokemon. I think it's super funny, but
Yeah, for
and it's
sure.
honestly pretty strong as well. Like Rock Slide hits like a truck, and I mean, if you're hitting
Your
rock
CC's
slides,
become
you always
stab
have the
now, and
chance.
tough claws boosted. Like that's
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah.
For sure. And I think I don't know if Alteri gets Tailwind. I don't think so, but
I think it does. I think
it
it
has a
does
good.
actually. It gets
Oh,
Altair is
It
a cool move
it
kit.
it does. It does get tailwind, I think.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
sweet. So I think that's a
You
good
so you got
Pokemon.
double tailwind setters, yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Altaria
it's
Husker
definitely
weather
good.
matchup. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right. I think we can move on to the goat, another goat, the rider and the San Diego Raichus. As Cheesy is well aware, Ryder is a OG. He was
OG,
also
OG.
he is the founder of the league. He created this wonderful doc. He is a good buddy of mine. I am super happy to have him.
We're glad he's back and
Yeah,
playing again.
so
Yeah.
happy. The league is better when Ryder is back and active for
For
sure.
sure.
My
Um,
first season when he won our league, it was so fun like playing against him, and like he's a good dude too. So it's awesome to have him back.
for sure, and he's got himself an interesting team here. We were talking about some teams in the other division that took no megas in S or A, which was we thought an interesting strategy. Um, he's done the opposite. He has three. He has done three megas in his high tiers, supporting them with the Sinistra. Um,
Mhm.
Alex, you obviously really wanted Mega Delphox and didn't get it, but sorry.
Oh, sweet, keep bringing it up, man.
I mean, we haven't seen it for a while, so go opting for the Mega Delphox here is
Yeah.
really interesting. I think Sableye is like a cool Mega to have in A tier. Obviously, normal Sableye is S, and then Mega Sableye in A tier. Maybe just kind of drafting it to have a Sableye. You don't necessarily have to Mega Evolve it. But it has 20 base speed. Interesting trick room strategies I can see with something like a Mega Sableye. But I think honestly, just getting its value in A tier is pretty cool. So maybe like a fake Mega here, but having Mega Delphox and our first Mega Drampa actually, which I think is really cool. A Pokemon that I think everyone really liked the design of and hoped it was a little better. But
Mhm.
like I think it's a really. I mean, it's obviously still an A tier mega. I think it's really strong, and this team has a pretty interesting Trick Room backbone to it as well. So, Mega Drampa and Trick Room could be really strong on this team for sure.
Do we have another Mega Sableye? I don't think so. I think Sableye and Drampa are actually
Uh,
like alone
this
just
whole
being
division
bulky.
so far has a lot of unique megas that we haven't talked about yet.
Oh
That's so
man, yeah.
cool.
It is. It's definitely like yeah. It's really fun to see newcomers like come in and like see their like how they're like their new like team building like and like they're using a lot of Pokemon that we like that are different throughout the divisions. But like I think like it could be really fun for a lot of the matchups and really showcase like what some of the megas like or maybe like getting slept on and whatnot. But you know what I think I like about this, even though like three megas looks a little crazy, I think Sableye and Drampa are good enough alone to operate where you could still Mega Delphox most of the time and have these mods as good support, like in general. Like Prankster's arguably better on Sableye anyways, and like Drampa, like while it's getting Berserk, like you're like already have that as your base form too. Um sure like you're not getting the speed drop that you're getting for that like trick room mode like and this dude he's got a crazy like trick room core in general for the most part rider this season but I think the megas are good enough to operate alone like in that matter. No Roselli Berry though sadly for the team that looks a little fairy weak with Camerupt and Delphox only being like the answers, but not everybody has that Floette, like we pointed out, like that good Ferrymon. So I think he could kind of have good coverage in that aspect. I like the tools that his team really does offer in Trick Room too. Like just having a one fast mod alone with Mega Delphox is super good, but like now having the slow team too to have to fight around can be a bit tricky, especially with Sinistra being your Trick Room and your Redirector. Like it's elite at what it does in his position. That's why it's like the S tier pick. But I think the support like that he got like is really going to reflect how good his team is going to do. Like in that Trick Room mode with having all the tools he needs, like, and to play slower than like a lot of other teams in the division. So I'm excited to see what he could do with obviously like the crazy triple mega selection in SNA.
For sure. I think obviously someone who's played around with the slow bros, slow kings and draft league. I think having a Pokemon like Scrafty, like Sableye, like even Mr. Rhyme that can come in and fake out, set up screens, intimidate your opponent, and just basically kind of guarantee you getting the Trick Room up. It's just so nice to be able to have, even as an alternative Trick Room setter, because Sinisha also gets the Trick Room as well. This team just makes sure that they get the Trick Room up, so it's really nice to be able to see. Um, I also really like out of all the Mega Pokemon in Champions, I believe Mega Delphox is probably one of the few Megas that doesn't really need Tailwind, right? It outspeeds the 130 base stat Megas like Mega Gengar, or I'm forgetting other ones, but like it outspeeds so much of the metagame. You don't really need Tailwind to try to make it to try to support it to make it faster. But I mean, instead, what they're doing is just supporting with so many good pieces like Sinisha, like the Sableye, like Scrafty, to kind of just mitigate the damage that it's going to be facing. And I mean, you can just see a nasty plot all the time. But this team, they can just set up Trick Room. They can set up. They have Mega Drampa. I think one of the most underrated things, at least that I've seen on this team, is the Alchemy. Being able to decorate, like just putting Mega Drampa Alchemy decorate, like +2 instantly, is just so nuts. You can decorate any Pokemon in this team. You can decorate the Mega Delphox +2 Heat Waves. It's no, it's GG's from there. So I think
Oh
Alchemy is
yeah,
honestly one of the strongest C tiers. B tier. What's it called? A C tier. Yeah.
B
BBB.
So
B tier B.
B. Oh, so I forgot it was SAB. My bad. My
Yeah, you're
bad.
good.
Yeah, it's one of the strongest B tiers just because of one, there's a very limited fairy pool. I think everybody was kind of evident of the fairy race to be able to grab a fairy type as soon as possible, but also alchemy specific support to be able to decorate and just use like stuff like baby doll eyes and charm to be able to weaken your opponent. I think it also gets screens as well, so I mean it's not just a sitting duck. It can sit there and honestly threaten you with the Pokemon next to it, which this team provides a lot of those targets to be able to have. So I really like the team, and I think it's gonna do really well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of, this is the week 5 rivalry matchup for you, Cheesy.
Yeah, I gotta watch out for this guy.
Yeah.
I got a Mega Scrafty for a reason. You gotta
Yeah.
make sure.
Excited to see that one. Obviously, we talked about
Oh
how
shoot.
yeah we all were in the same draft league years ago, so it's gonna be really I'm gonna be really excited to see that one week 5 for rivalry week. Rivalry week, Jesus. But we're just going through all the OGs right here. Next up, we have Quartz. Also, I want to say Quartz was here in the first initial season. I swear he was. Maybe my memory is misleading me. He was at least here for the second season, if not a sub for the first season. Um, we talked about Quartz in the last video when we were talking about Mudsdale, and his that was Quartz's best ever season with the Dynamax Mudsdale, Dynamax Celesteela. But Quartz is back. He had the first overall pick, and he said, "Oh damn."
Welcome, Water Mudsdale.
True. We do have Water Mudsdale. He was like, "Dang, I had the first overall pick. You gonna make me like actually try this season?" Because Quartz likes to build a bunch of fun things, for lack of a better word, stupid things. It's always entertaining though. And with the first overall pick, he went with the Mega Clefable, which I think was no one saw that coming. I understand
That was
where.
crazy.
Yeah, it was very crazy.
That you know what? We thought Talonflame was crazy in the last one, but Mega Clefable, he got that. It's a different flying type, but
Yeah,
that
I
is
mean,
definitely a different one.
it's I guess he liked its value so much that he figured it would. I mean, maybe he didn't think it would get back to him. But he just liked that you got a Clefable in A tier when normal Clefable is S tier. Quartz was frying me during draft too because he took Mega Clefable with the first overall pick. No one saw it coming, and then Cheesy took Zard. Spoilers and Mega Zard, and he was like, "Oh, I guess no Zard for me." Or like, brother, you had the first.
Wait,
We had the first overall pick. We can't complain about not getting Charizard. Like we can't be serious, right?
I mean,
didn't
I'll
even
just
know
say
that.
though,
That's so funny.
yeah, and I
Uh,
mean, if you look at the team though, I mean, it doesn't look like he whiffed with the first overall. Like you see Mega Swampert and Pelipper, and you're like, oh, this guy probably drafted Mega Swampert first overall. I can't believe that thing made it back to the wheel.
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, getting Mega Swampert, Pelipper as your uh, S tier Rancor is like super strong. Obviously, their synergy is super good together. Setting the rain for Mega Swampert, being immune to the earthquakes that Swampert wants to click. Um, and pairing that with Redirection Clefable. We have Heliolisk here as the electric type.
We got a Heliolisk appearance. I'm excited about that
Yeah,
one.
Alex was a big hyper up of Heliolisk. Thought that this mon needed to be A tier. I mean, it's super strong, man. I think that speed tier is really valuable. I'm pretty sure it gets manual rain dance. Also can be
Well, just the weather like offense you're like supported by with this mon too. Like it's viable in like three different weathers and a fast shed Taylor. So that's why we're getting the bump up.
yeah for sure. And I think his B tier are super good value. I think he's got a little underrated trick room duo with Cofagrigus for Eutychus. Zoroark will provide so many mind games. I think it's the only Zoroark drafted across all the divisions. I don't remember talking about one until now.
I don't think so
And
either. Yeah.
it's just super cool team. Excited to see what Quartz does with it on his return.
Yeah, I think overall like he definitely got really cool pieces. I think he's got good value in good spots, but like maybe like some of the other values lacking, but I think the value that's there is really good. I think Reuniclus, Cofagrigus, like being your trick room setters and getting them both in B tier is like super good for when you like need to play in that slow mode. Tinkaton provides a lot of support in B typing with its defensive typing and the fake out, all the things that could do. Zoroark for mod games, like, and he's got. I will say, like, he's got a lot of good Pokemon too that Zoroark can like kind of disguise as, like, as long as you're not disguising as Pelipper, like, it seems like he can kind of play like a lot of mind games there. But no, overall strong core. Mega Clef was definitely the big question mark as the first pick, but you know, I think just that follow me, being that only two Pokemon can follow me, and the only Mega Pokemon that can follow me is freaking in the lower tier. But no, it looks like it's gonna be a cool team. Um, it'd be cool. I don't know if the rain teams play each other, but that should be a fun matchup if that
Yeah,
happens. And
they're actually rivalry week. I think that says.
oh, okay. So
Yeah,
that'll be cool to see a little rain action during rivalry week. But overall fun team. I think Heliolisk can provide. I think Heliolisk and the B tiers can definitely like put some tricks up to the task.
For sure. And I think there's some like obviously we were talking about the Zork. I mean, if we're leading Pelipper and Mega Swampert and the Swampert's a Zork, I feel like most teams are gonna be so over prepped into, hey, let me get a grass attack into this, or let me make sure I have like this coverage into Mega Swampert, right? And then you
Hmm.
just reveal it's a Zork and you're like, oh shoot, I might be screwed. I mean, its speed tier is also just super nice as a sport Pokemon. You can run Snarl, you can run. I'm sure as a dark type, you get so much supportive options to be able to use.
Hmm.
Cofagrigus is also super underrated. I think its stats are just like if you look at its stats, you don't expect it to have those high stats. Like I think it has like a crazy like defense stat, right? Like
Hmm.
I don't know, it's like 130 or 140 something like that. But what's it called? I think Tauros in the C tier is also really cool because I mean you don't really look at regular Tauros Paldea because it's like why wouldn't you just use the other types? But I mean it being the lone Tauros in the last tier, you don't want to be taking close combat from it. You don't want to be taking a Raging Fury that can break screens. And I mean a fast Intimidate user that can just attack rather than being a supporter can be really strong on these types of teams. And I think it can do well. I mean, I don't know. Does it get any of the coverage moves that the other one forms get, or like does it still have coverage?
No, no, no. It
it,
doesn't get Jet or Flame Charge. And
Gotcha,
I don't know.
gotcha.
Yeah.
its coverage is definitely lacking a bit,
It
but
doesn't get wave crash, no flare blitz,
yeah,
so it
I
doesn't get
mean,
those hard
but
hitting
you
moves
still
and like
get
the
things
piping.
like high horsepower. Obviously, you're clicking like close combat a lot of the time. Throat chop, wild charge, and
You
headbutt.
you get a bulk up, yeah, you have good enough bulk.
Yeah.
Like
It
it's still a
gets
Tauros at the end of the day,
Yeah, it gets the benefit of being deriven
being a
from
Tauros.
from being a normal type. Like obviously, as a normal type, Tauros gets a lot of like good coverage options, and a lot of them carry over to the fighting type as well. And now
For
you
Yeah,
sure.
get that. I mean, you lose a little
the
bit of
stab
speed.
hits.
You lose a
Yeah,
little bit of speed with this form, but I think the strong CC and C tier is a super valid pick.
yeah,
Yeah.
lose sheer
It's
force too, for that matter. But
mhm. It's gonna be a fun team though. I'm looking forward to how they're gonna do.
Yeah, and I just read in chat that Quartz has been prepping, doing mocks and stuff again. So Quartz is back,
Ooh,
ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited.
we might have a demon
let's
in Great
go.
Yeah,
Ball.
We got
hopefully. I would
champions
love to
ready.
see Prime Quartz back. But speaking of a
Mhm.
demon, we have Mr. Kajashi, Mr. Andreas, and
Let's go.
the Boston Throws. Uh, he wanted to be the Boston Red Sox, I think, but he saw that Will was the Boston Red Sox and kind of deviated a little bit. I like the throws though.
Mhm.
The Red Sox do like to throw a lot. They're pretty bad, so it makes a lot of sense. We
Kids are
got
starving.
yeah for sure. That's a good reference. What's it called? We got a very interesting team here. The Mega Basket. Sorry, I'm combining Pokemon here. The Mega Aerodactyl and the Basket Legion as really strong meta S tier picks, paired with the Mega Excadrill and Prankster Klefki. I think it's a really. I don't want to say it's non synergistic, but like it's just not pieces you see together. I guess all the time, but I think overall, like the value in like Pokemon he got, I think is super strong. I think everything here is just like a really solid mon. Like Mega Aerodactyl is super strong, as we all know. Same with Basket Legion. He got the value Prankster, which gets Sunny Day for the Solar Pack. He got the Charizard value in B tier. Got super strong levitating grass type with Rotom next to Excadrill. Strong fairy type and Mega Altaria. The first Passimian we seen. I think Scarf Passimian is usually its best set. I really like Passimian, and even his C tiers I think are strong. Pikachu, Fake Out Lightning Rod has Light Ball. Malamar sets Trick Room, has Contrary. He's got Intimidate with Quillfish. I think maybe like I said, not the most synergistic team when you look at all the pieces as like together, but as a whole, I think it's just like a super strong team of Pokemon.
I will say the one thing that I really team is that I came into this draft, like saying about this format and like this draft season alone, that I think this is going to be one of the strongest weather formats, and like I think he's just got really good pieces to like to justify like any type of weather matchup at any point. Like
I was
you
gonna
have
say the
a
same.
the Klefki is so good here. Like I thought I cooked with my Klefki pick because of the synergy, but he really cooked with the Klefki pick because now like you have Sandstorm. Like that's the first thing off rip when I see the arrow and the Excadrill, and like you don't even need to Mega the Exca. You're getting like essentially the better version without having the item on the other Excadrill, and like the Mega is an option. But like the same thing goes for the arrow in this position as well. Like arrow's a good enough Pokemon, like I said in the other video, where it could do the same thing. But now he's getting the Sand Rush value alone from that. If he needs Rain Dance, you got a Basket Legion ready to fucking hit anything. And like, I mean, for what it's worth, I guess Swift Swim Quillfish too. And like Rotomo is like your coverage mon, like perfect. You have a Sun matchup now with Solar Power Zard, like with the ability to run any item. Like I'm jealous he gets to run the Fun Zard with like the item and like the actual like taking advantage of the Sun, and I gotta just freaking be the guy that does all the hard work. But like I like and at worst, like you got Altaria, like and like you could just be like, all right, I don't need weather this week. I just lock in with Klefki. I run the screens. I have bulky Pokemon in like Basket Legion and Exca and Rotom to get supported by the screens. I like cool fish, low value, intimidate, like Malamar, like low value, fun stuff. Pikachu, like I can't say enough good things about this demon because I had him last season, and this man, the one matchup he came to, he freaking went crazy in. So, I just like his team like for that fact alone, and like it's just like going to be playing a lot into the like what I said is like that strong weather meta in regulation MB, and I'm excited to see his team. And like I know he's a good player, so like he can cook like really crazy with this.
Yeah, I think I mean if you look at the 12 players that we have here in Great Ball, 6 of them are running weather focused teams, and I mean this team looks like it's sought out to just destroy those weather teams. Like if you have a weather, oh, you have rain, let me just throw my Basket Legion in there. Swift swim, GG. If you
Yep.
have sand, oh yeah, free Excadrill boost, and then Zard. I mean, you just get the free Life Orb, Solar Power, Heat Waves, and it's like it just punishes those teams super well. I think this team's gonna have to be playing very balancy in a sense, where you're gonna have to be able to take advantage of like your clef keys, taking advantage of your tailwind speed control. And I think I mean at least I would have liked to see a little bit more fake out. I think Pikachu being the only fake out option is a little rough in that sense, but I think overall like this team is so anti like I wouldn't say anti-meta, but I'd say more so anti-draft league in a sense where it's like all these other teams are focusing around like a specific weather, specific topic, and this team just seeks out to kind of destroy those pieces and kind of just punish, the team revolving around a singular idea. So I think it's going to be really strong. Obviously, with the player piloting it, it's going to be a really strong team. Punishing those kinds of teams and setting up for itself. You don't know if it's going to be using rain with Basket Legion, and just like you guys were saying, like this team can abuse so many different cores, and it's going to be a team that's going to be hard to prep into. So I think it's going to be a cool team for the season.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to watch him play with this team.
I think this is Andreas's first draft league as well, and to like, if that was like the main focus of his team to like counter draft league ideas, and I'm like really impressed. Like when I was looking through it, obviously I think the synergies aren't as apparent, but when you guys kind of broke it down and talked about how it counters so many different things, I think that you convinced me that this team is super strong. So excited to see Andreas Rocket this season. But we are halfway through. We have
Mm-hmm.
6 more coaches to go. We have Mr. Talent Master Jay in the Atlanta Talent Flames.
Break it down, Floette Master.
I don't know if I can be called the Floette Master, but I am a fan. I am a fan. I don't know if I've hit Master. I'm definitely a fan though.
Break it down, Floette fan.
Thank you. I think that the support for Mega Floette on this team. Also, I just realized he has Florges also, which I didn't even realize. That's kind of crazy. He the support for Mega Floette is interesting, I would say. Not really. There's no fake out. There's no redirection, I don't believe. There isn't apparent speed control. We have some trick room options. So it's going to be very interesting to see the teams that Talon pulls out. But I think it has some good defensive typings for Mega Floette for sure. I think Aegislash is a Pokemon that it's going to be interesting. Obviously, not every team. I don't think it actually. I could be actually no. There is one King Gambit, but not every team has a King Gambit. So definitely a mon that I think can be strong when used correctly, especially maybe into like something like a Trick Room option with this team. There's options like the Mega Ampharos for like a Trick Room mode. So I think it's gonna be very interesting to see how this team pilots with Mega Floette. I think Mega Floette on its own is super strong, but can be kind of counterable in a draft format. Obviously, there's 3 typings. It doesn't really want to see Floette normally only really clicking fairy moves. It's just usually optimal to run only fairy options, but it is draft league. It has we talked about its coverage before in the Master Ball division. So be interesting to see how much he'll utilize that, because I will say the support for Floette is a little lacking. However,
All
I
right,
still
you
think
just
there's strong
you
pieces.
took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, I'm looking at this team, and I think it's got good Pokemon. You look at it, you're like, okay, Floette, Aegislash, Crook, Shandy, like really good SNA picks. Like you get like some good typing, some good value. You double up on the Ghost a little bit, but whatever. You'd double like resistance for Floette in that position. So like it's kind of justified. Like, and then the other picks, like you start to look down, and like you said, like you don't see the support. There's no fake out users. There's no redirection. There's no tailwind for that matter. Like in this position, your only trick room setter is Shandy. You have Shed Tail, like I guess like in those positions and Speed Boost before you Mega, but like, do you really want to bring Mega Sharpedo over Mega Floette? Is like the first question, and then like when you do have that Trick Room answer, like what are you doing to get it up in this position? Do you have to call the item like that? Create like whether it be a resistance berry or a mental herb or something like, and like because you know who's setting the trick room. Um, I think the Pokemon alone are just like they're good Pokemon. They kind of have like their own individual matchups into other teams, and like this is usually how I kind of like to draft too, like a really like countermeasure like type of team. But I just don't think it has the tools to be that countermeasure team, and like it's definitely lacking in the department of like some of the support for Floette, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys were saying, I think the team is definitely a little bit short in the supporting tier. I think the way this team's gonna have to either play out is like you throw all your good Pokemon in the front, like Aegislash, Chandelure, Crocodile, try to break down the Steel and Poison types as much as possible, and then kind of play Mega Floette like it's a Flutter main at the end and try to sweep from there. Um,
Yeah,
it's just
that's a good
like
point.
it's kind of difficult to justify some of the other picks here though, because I feel like in this draft format, like most megas, you can draft multiple megas and justify bringing other ones. Mega Flood feels like one of those megas you can't really not bring week to week. Like it's one of the strongest Pokemon in this format. Like it's just kind of similar to like your Mega Swampert, Mega Metagrosses, like those strong Pokemon that like even Mega Yard that's just like has to come at least on your team almost every week. And I just don't see where Mega Ampharos or Mega Sharpedo can shine, at least not in a specific niche scenario. So I think definitely with a little bit of support, this team could be really good. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they play it because the pilot Talon could be playing this team in such a unique way, and I can see that happening with Shed Tail, with these strong Pokemon that can just hit hard and let Floette hit in the back. So I think for sure it's going to be really interesting to see, and this is definitely one of the teams I want to watch out for.
Could
Are you
some
ready for those that Florigist boosted fairy aura? Honestly, Mega Floette Florigist is kind of cool. I like the team better because of that. Like that is definitely sick to
That's
see.
going to hit hard, dude.
Yeah,
can someone tell me what the Lichen Rock's doing here?
for sand matchup, I guess. Like that's kind of what I thought. But like, I mean, I was thinking too. It's like he doesn't have those tools, but like Cheesy said, like the offensive Floette too. It's like I think those tools that you're really missing just aren't there because there's no prankster support. There's the tailwind. There's no tailwind for that matter, and like your speed control options are like Rock Tomb Lycanroc and like Rock Tomb Scarf Crocodile. I guess like I said, it just like feels like good Pokemon, and like maybe he'll be able to match up check people that like have flimsy answers into certain aspects of his team, but I think his SNA picks are really good. I'm gonna give it to that. I just think the support is super lacking.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. And to transition, I got to bring this back up. I have never heard. You just made me laugh. I've never heard anyone say Mega Yard before. That fried me. I'm not gonna.
Really? You don't
Mega
see?
Mega Yard is crazy. I've never
Oh,
heard
I guess
that.
people just say yard.
I've never even heard that. Just
Yard? How could
Zard,
you not heard of Yard?
just Zard Y. I just hear Zard
I like
Y.
I like yard slop. Yard slop is like the only
Yeah,
time
that's
I've
what.
ever called it yard, but
I've
like
never even heard, dude. Maybe I'm
yeah,
just out of the mix at this point.
He's not
But
on Twitter.
no, I haven't.
oh
I've not seen that. Maybe I'm just wrong. I thought that was funny, but
yeah, oh
uh,
god, mega yard though. That's a choice.
cheesy in the Jersey Slow Kings, brother, take it away. Talk us. I mean,
Break it
obviously,
down for
don't
us,
you
cheesy.
ain't gotta go into all your specific plans and text, but what was the thought process? Were you happy with what you got from your position and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
how did you
course. I
plan on
mean,
starting it off?
yeah, so it's like I see the draft video and I'm like a 10th overall. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm just gonna miss out on like the prime, megas. I gotta just build around something else. And then I just see a mega yard. Yeah, yeah, yard. He just falls down. I'm like, yo, what is this dude doing here? Let me just pick him up. Like this is like consensus, like or not consensus. I'd say it's basically a consensus top three, top four pick in most draft leagues. Like it's just such a strong Pokemon that can bring so many pieces. And I mean, other than obviously weather and the strong stats, you have so much coverage to be able to use like solar beam. You have scorching sands, heat wave, air slash, so much other coverage you can use. And then second round rolls around. Oh, Garchomp. Wow, I'll take it. So
Oh, I'm jealous of you. I'm so jealous, brother.
So, I mean, it was just nice to be able to draft like such a high value Pokemon in the S tier. Because S tier, if you're grabbing only two S tier Pokemon, just grabbing the highest possible value ones, it just feels so like right to me. I feel like, at least in my opinion, when looking at this specific format, one of the biggest things that I see is that a lot of support can be recreated in the lower tiers. Fake
Mhm.
Out, Follow Me, Redirection, Tailwind, Trick Room. So I found it really a priority. Just grab those unique Pokemon that you can't really recreate down in the lower tiers. And I just found these two Pokemon really strong. I mean, I'll just kind of breeze over the rest. I don't want to take too long breaking down my team for my future opponents. But I mean,
Yeah.
Gardevoir, Trick Room is just so nice to be able to have. Fairy types are very limited in this format. And looking at the fairy types that were available when I was drafting, Gardevoir just seemed like the strongest pick at that time, and I think Fairy Stab is just going to be so nice in this format. And I grabbed Mega
Telepathy
Scrafty.
Nexo Chomp.
Yeah, oh yeah, telepathy. It's gonna be
Hmm.
nice. But Mega Scrafty, I grabbed a little bit late because I didn't think people are gonna grab it. And yeah, I mean, just it's just Trick Room option for me. It's an alternative Mega, and I mean, I just saw how it did in regular VG, and I was like, you know what? Let me try it out. I think it's gonna be a fun Pokemon to use. I got my Tailwind. I got Empoleon just as a good Water and Steel type. I mean, its ability's nice, and then Garganacl can do Garganacl things. Salt Cure, all the support tools it gets. And then just to move on from that, Mega Victory Bell. I mean, Mega Victory Bell is super underrated. I think you're getting this tools and sleep powder like Sludge Bomb. Like you get to hit offensively, you get to sleep powder. I think it
I
also
think it
gets.
doesn't get sleep powder. If I'm
Oh, it doesn't get
No,
sleep.
no, 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 no. It doesn't powder cheesy. It doesn't get it.
yeah,
It's fine. Offensive piece was a C tier. I
I
mean, what else was I gonna grab there?
I think the value is like the chlorophyll value is still strong, and there's other things it does for sure. In the sun, so like it's the better chlorophyll mon because you're not running cringe sleep powder.
Yeah, I'll let you guys comment on it just because I want to hear criticism if any.
I'll let Alex talk because he is the fellow Megazard Y Garchomp and Polion user. You guys have a pretty similar team.
Yeah, so shout out to your Zard Y, Garchomp, Empoleon, Musharna, and Victory Bell for that. We just kind of swapped megas in that position, but we have five of this 11, so yeah, 11 same mods essentially. So like, honestly, I really like the direction you kind of took with it in general. So we both like in like I'm gonna like I'm gonna compare it to my team a lot because it has a lot of those similarities in that sense.
Yeah, of
But
course.
I see what you were like, what you did. So like your Gardevoir, like we both got that fairy type that like kind of helps out the Chomp, which I'm a little jealous. Your Chomp gets to hold a real item, uh, each week for that matter. But I still thought the Mega Chomp value was too good for like the other matchups. EQ spam this and that. But I think your Gardevoir is insanely like really good value. Like it sure it doesn't have the prankster, the steel type, but like telepathy. and just the strong fairy coverage and psychic for that matter, like and like just like the ability to throw on a scarf or like even like any other item, like it's definitely good enough. You have so many options with it. I think Mega Scrafty is another good, like you didn't have to take Mega Chomp in your position, so I think Mega Scrafty is a really good high tier Mega that can like benefit with Zard. It doesn't have to Mega each week. It's a good slow option. I like all around. I think like you said, you found the good pieces and good support in the B and C tier, and like the difference like with Victory Bell is like I my chlorophyll mons, I didn't convince myself Vileplume was good enough for me to take an A, honestly.
Same.
So I wanted Scoville, and Conk like drafted it really high, and I definitely was like, it's not that I wasn't expecting it, but like I wasn't ready for that spot. But the the Victory Bell alone, it just looked like it was good enough support in like chlorophyll for my team. So I like that, like, because it doesn't have to mega, it just has to hold the stone. And sure, it's like Gen 3 coded with its stat distribution, but like it's a fun mon in Sun.
For
Moosh,
sure.
really good trick room setter. Like Low Punny, I'm not like the biggest fan on like the form without the mega in general, but like it's still fast fake out. Like this, it's that what it provides for that minimum, and like the stab moves is good for the best. I think Starmie and Garganackle are really good too. I like what you did with the direction of the team, and like the pieces are different, and I think they are kind of better. I think they're better pieces. I drafted a little bit weirder, but I think like you have a more sound option.
I appreciate it.
I like
Yeah.
Noivern. I'm a big Noivern fan. I think Frisk and Tailwind are super strong. Get things like Super Fang and Taunt, and big Noivern fan. And I guess Alex covered most everything. I guess I'm just interested to see how Garganackle does after the big nerf to Salkir. I think it's still a pretty good Pokemon. I think it'd be actually more interesting because I think it can be run pretty offensively now. It doesn't necessarily.
What pick were you again, Cheesy?
I was 10th, bro.
Oh, honestly, you know what's crazy? I was 4th, and that's like I got sniped on my original first pick, and like I thought that Zard was the best value at 4. So for you to like sit there and get it at 10 feels like that's really good.
I was shocked.
Like, yeah. Zard Y and Chomp is like a really good 10 pick combo.
Yeah. Super excited to see the similarities between all the different Sun teams across divisions and see how they do. But we have a very unique team here to our to the right of Cheesy.
Breezy.
Yeah, Mr. Brizzy, Mr. Foster, and the Slateport Smeargles. Went with the double fake out S tier mons, the Mega Kang and Sneasler. I think Mega Kang is...
I like it. The double fake out, dude.
Dude, the double fake out. Probably the best.
That's elite fake out.
Yeah, those fake out.
That's literally elite fake out. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's really interesting together. I think Mega Kang's super good. Super underrated S tier Mega Mon, I think.
You don't even need a Mega, and it's still super good. That's what I think makes Mega Kang like as good as it is for that S tier pick too.
Yo, fake out last resort.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Exactly, dude. Like, dude, Kang is so cool, and it's so cool to see it like taken with a double fake out support core, like especially Sneasler, who like has like fast offense that can cover for Kang a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm not like super understanding the A tier picks. Good Pokemon individually. Like, again, I'm gonna say it again. The synergies, I'm not really seeing the synergies. With the rest of the team.
Valid.
But obviously Mimikyu is decent trick room setter. You have Araquanid and Armarouge and maybe a slow, like, I guess there's good trick room options on the team. Maybe not as synergistic with like Sneasler, but I think Mega Kang and trick room can be really strong. So maybe
I'm not gonna lie, you're bugging. Trusting the discharge EQ with Diggersby Mega Electros, bro.
My bad.
Nah, and Trick Room, I mean, I guess, like, because huge power, you could set up a lot of kills for Electros in that fact. Like, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, I'm seeing the Mimikyu vision a bit, but the Electros vision, I think maybe it's just an exciting Pokemon he wants to use, but, like, yeah, I think the value we saw on other teams with Mega Electros was a lot stronger, so interested to see how it fits on this team.
Yeah, I'm gonna intervene for the fact that I think a Mimikyu is the first mon that like it's the first time it's taken that we've seen it like talking about these teams, and I think the value that he got for it in A tier is actually really good. I think like for the trick room like portion of his B's and C's, this is a team it was weird to look at. I think the typings aren't all there, but I think the trick room potential is crazy, and it's definitely good enough to like make a lot of opponents like uh question like the matchups and like have to play around that. Like he's coming in with a weather mode as well, like to counter. So like that's like alone not bad. Mega Glalie there, Tyrantrum's there. Maybe he's like I said, I think like a lot of his defensive typings that he's doubled up on could be like considered like weaker defensive typings. But all in all, like he's got all the tools he needs. There's no trick room, but this isn't a team meant for trick room. It's kind of like the other hard trick room team in this division, where like if you're either gonna have to play around it, like know you're playing around it for 4 turns a game, and like don't lose if he gets it set up again, or B like have that answer, that fast imprisonment mon or something like that, and like or just like a really good mon in general. One thing I don't like though, I think I wish I had like I think I wish this team had like a good dark type. I think that's what like really benefits on a lot of this hard TR comps too. Um, Maybe I'm missing something or like not seeing a vision there, but all in all, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's that bad of a team.
For sure. I think interestingly enough, I think coaching Sneasler is going to be really cool to have. I think there's a good amount of Pokemon that take advantage of it. Mega Kangaskhan in itself, if you can just make that an unkillable demon, I mean, what are you gonna do about that, right?
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I didn't think about that. I like that a lot actually.
And then, I mean, you just have the options in Mega Electros to make it a special or physical attacker, which on this team, it can really be a physical attacker, which you don't really see in regular, VGC.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things, though, is that Diggersby is a good ground type. I just wish you had a stronger EQ user to use with Mega Electros. It's one of those things where it's like if you're running Mega Electros, you want to have like a really strong EQ. Like obviously not Garchomp. Like Garchomp's a little too expensive, but maybe something like I can't think like even like a Mudsdale or like
Yeah.
Glyphor.
No,
yeah.
I called this team a hard trick room team. It's not a hard trick room team. It just has a lot of slow options. But I think one thing too I like didn't notice is how Mimikyu and Electros like one mon like you have to account for if it's gonna run physical or special, and the other mon you have to account for how it's gonna run its speed stat. Like because like Mimikyu is such an awkward. It's such a good trick room setter, but its speed stat is fast enough to like sweep you also like in that
For
sense.
sure.
Mhm.
And I think some cool Pokemon, at least one of my favorite Pokemon to grab in draft leagues is Araquanid. People don't really respect the amount of damage Araquanid can do with its ability Water Bubble. If you give it an attack boost with coaching, like Liquidation's genuinely gonna kill so many of the Pokemon in this format just because it's so strong, boosted maybe off of a Life Orb or off of a power boosting item can be really threatening on this team. I think it's one of the most underrated B tiers in this format. And I was actually gonna grab it, but it got sniped. But so definitely respect on grabbing the Araquanid. And I think it's just it's tools and offense. It's just so irreplaceable and so unique. So
It's
at
a
least
really
that's
good B
just
pick. Yeah, it feels like it could be
yeah.
an A somewhat, like in some scenarios if it was like a little bit better. But no, I
For
agree.
sure.
Hmm.
I think the weather is going to be also interesting. I mean, Aurorus is a Pokemon we don't ever see in play, like in standard VGC, and even in draft league, it's a Pokemon you don't really see drafted commonly. So I'm looking forward to the kind of ways it's going to be played. Just as an offensive Blizzard Mon, Aurora Veil, be able to support with that, and just in general, like you have Glaceon to spam. So I mean, it's going to be
Yeah,
nice for that and just disrupting other weathers, which That's the biggest thing about this draft league, and I mean, I assume all the divisions, but definitely this division is that you need a way to disrupt weather, like a specific way. If you don't have a way to disrupt weather, then you're probably not going to be faring super well into the strong weather teams in this format. So I do really like the cheap weather option to be able to grab. It's probably the cheapest weather option to grab in this format, right?
Outside of
No, you could
Obama
grab regular
snow,
Obama Snow and
yeah.
see regular Obama Snow and see, but like
Oh, that's true.
Aurora's, I think Aurora's is still really good value for its speed tier, and it's weird. It's a bad typing, but it's like also like Ice is also a really good offensive typing, and so is Rock for that matter. So like for its bad defensive typing, I think its offensive typing makes up for it being able to set weather at like a slow pace too. So
Sure,
I think it's cool there.
just gotta watch out for the fighting types. This team does not like fighting types.
Yes, certainly.
Mimikyu,
Yeah,
Sneasler,
yeah.
Araquanid, Armarouge. It's not like the worst.
Sneasler, Mimikyu, Araquanid, and Armor Rouge feel like good enough for because like at minimum two of them are coming to like most matches too.
That's true. I
Yeah.
just saw the bottom five and I was like, oh, dude.
Oh yeah, that's true, dude. You know what? Shout out to Foster though too for this team because he drafted both refrigerate mons. Unless I'm mistaken, and there's another mon that has refrigerate as an ability. They're both on his team, so
That's so funny.
I hope it works out. Yeah. I guess we can move on, right?
Yeah, we got 3 more teams to go.
Sweet.
We have new coach Evelyn and the Somerset Zoruas. This is the King Gambit I was talking about earlier. I believe Wolfie in his draft league also drafted the core of Mega Frost last King Gambit. I think they're a really cool synergistic duo in the S tier. Mega Frostlass, super. I don't think, dude. This is a crazy one to say out loud because it's such a good Pokemon, but I think it's the first one to talk about. Mega Frostlass, super strong.
Yeah.
Getting like we saw it sitting in C tier without its Mega. I think it's the biggest drastic change between Pokemon and their Mega. I think gaining the Snow Warning ability, being able to set Veil, getting super strong Blizzards, has a really good speed stat. And the types it doesn't like, there's a King Gambit right there, and vice versa. Ghost can switch in on the fighting moves the King Gambit doesn't like, and super cool duo. And I think the second Mega with the Rotom Frost also, like, Rotom Frost can work as the Blizzard spammer, but also Rotom Frost can be that Scarf electric type that pairs with the Lightning Rod Sceptile, which I really like on this team. And got the budget Blaziken King Gambit duo also an A. Blaziken not as strong as the Mega Blaziken for obvious reasons, but it still is that speed boost coaching duo that synergizes really well with King Gambit. And yeah, I think it's like super. Those 5 pieces I think are super strong. Dragalge, Clutch, or Torterra as to fill out the B tier is I think a little interesting. Good Pokemon on their own right. Maybe a little more Trick Room reliant, and this team outside of, I guess, normal Audino. Outside of Audino doesn't have a Trick Room setter, but I think they're just bulky, solid Pokemon on their own right. Maybe not necessarily need Trick Room and can come during when certain matchups are favorable, but the original 5, those 5 I talked about, I really like the core that Evelyn drafted.
Yeah, actually going off of that, this is another team I looked at first and I'm like, the support definitely kind of seems lacking. Like no redirection for this matter. The doesn't really need Tailwind as a team because it's a rather fast team, but the lack of I guess the Trick Room in sense, but the more I'm actually sitting there and actually looking at the team, I do like it a lot more. I think the SNA picks are pretty synergistic with each other. At least between the top 3, and Mega Sceptile is a good fast option to come in certain matchups and benefit off of those other mons. But with also double Fake Out in the C tier, I think it's pretty good value. And Audino itself is a bulky Pokemon with item item freedom in this sense. So it could run that Mental Herb or Resist very need be if in a matchup. But I think the B tiers I actually really like a lot for the sole fact that sure they don't provide supporting moves, right? But Mega Frostlass, Alola Raichu, it doesn't sound like anything crazy, but it's really strong Bolt Beam coverage, and they're both alone are like really fast Pokemon that provide really good like speed support in the sense of like E-Webs or Icy Wind in this sense. And I think like with Blaziken, like just having the capability of speed boost too, and like you said, the coaching support for like these mons, but like I think all the mods that are like rather slower don't need the Trick Room option as much as they need like the capability to be able to run bulky and still be like a heavy hitting attacker. Like Clawitzer and Dragalge are like weird speed tiers, but they hit hard. Like if they like get attacks off with adaptability and Mega Launcher, and like Torterra is not no bum either. Like shout out to my favorite Pokemon of all time, Torterra. Like it's not like elite, but it's good, and like Rotom Frost too. So like Torterra actually works because you know your Blizzard spammers are on your side and not theirs, like most likely, unless the one mon that's Ice type has it for that week. So I think Rotom Frost Mega Frostlass is a really cool under the radar pairing, like not under the radar essentially, but I think it's just a good pairing, like a good Scarf candidate for most weeks, like Rotom too, like just to be able to take advantage of Blizzard and like the Bolt Beam coverage that's so strong offensively. But what are your thoughts on the team, Cheesy?
I think it's a really cool team. Something that I noticed, at least being in this draft pool, is that Evelyn really focused on getting the C tiers first before any of a lot of the B tiers and even the A tiers in that matter, just to be able to grab some of the best picks in that tier. I think Audino and Raichu Alola are just such good C tiers to be able to grab because Audino gives you that Trick Room option, gives you that support option. It has some really cool tools as well. I actually saw a team. It was with Mega Slowbro, but somebody was running Audino with Heal Pulse, Trick Room, and Simple Beam. You'd be running
Yeah, of
Simple
course.
Beam. You just run a Simple Beam with something like Mega Frostlass, get +4. With even like Mega Sceptile, you'll be able to grab like boost. Or he's like, there's so many Pokemon that can grab boosts on this team that could value from that Simple Beam, and it's just
Oh,
one of the
Simple Beam
strategies.
before the coaching Blaziken comes in. Yeah, like
It's so tough. But
Mhm.
what's it called? I really like the Raichu Alola is nice as well. Obviously, the first thing you think about is Fake Out, but having the what's it called? Bolt, what was it? Bolt Freeze or
Bolt
Bolt
what?
Beam,
Beam.
Bolt Beam. Yeah,
Bolt
Bolt Beam.
Beam.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that as well as like obviously the Mega Sceptile synergy alongside Rotom Frost is gonna be really cool to have. Simisear's
Mhm.
Fake Out Pokemon, it's just nice to be able to have.
Oh, I forgot about Rotom and Mega Sceptile too. Good point. Yeah,
That's
that's
gonna be
really
some
good.
sauce.
Oh
Like
no, for sure.
you just run that with Scarf every week, and I mean it synergizes with both of your megas so well. So that's one of the best B tier picks, at least for this specific team. Other than like you guys already covered the S and A tier so specifically, so I won't dive into that. But Clawitzer is one of my favorite Pokemon. Just like first in Draft League, and then outside of Draft League, it became a Pokemon that one of my favorites. Just because it has such a unique niche. I mean, we look at these big tournaments like VR Tour that have Pokemon like Mega Blastoise that are
Mhm.
just you're like, why are they here? Like, why are they up here? And other than Shell Smash, they have such cool tools. You have Water Pulse. You obviously have Dark Pulse or Aura Sphere, Dragon Pulse that are hitting like stab moves off of a 125 base special attack. And I mean, you put that Life Orb on that, it's going to be hitting really hard. I also think people don't really know this interaction, but Heal Pulse actually heals
Yeah,
75%
I was gonna
of a
say we talk
target.
about Aldino with heal pulls. The
Yeah.
real heal pulls mon is Clawitzer.
Yo,
That
I'm
thing, I
not gonna
mean,
lie. You just gave me like the singular best campaign on why Clawitzer isn't a shitmon. Like I didn't think about like I knew it's a heavy hitter, but I was like, dude, damn, bro. Like these
I
points are coming
love
towards.
Clawitzer.
Yo, it's valid. I was like, maybe a better water type could like do this team justice, but nah. Like Clawitzer got it. Clawitzer got it. All right, you convinced me.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
I love to run this Pokemon in, like terrain, which I mean we don't really have much terrain, but terrain pulse is just so strong as well. And I mean it gets the coverage of being a water type like Icy Wind, so it's gonna be really cool to see. Torterra and Dragalge, I'm a little bit not too sure of. I think they're just strong Pokemon in their own fronts and have really unique typings. So I'm
Yeah.
really interested to seeing how Evelyn's going to be able to pilot this team. It's going to be really cool. I think this team is one of the strongest in the division. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it performs.
I like the defensive synergy too for the most part. I mean, no flying type, but like Levitate, Rotom, and like good resistances like into ground in general with Mega Sceptile and Frostlass being like your counters against ground type as well, like or seem really good to help out that Frostlass Blaziken or the King Gambit Blaziken Dragalge for that matter, like Raichu Simisear. So I'm excited. I think this team kind of cooks. Actually, not kinda. It definitely cooks.
Most definitely, and I think we have hit this team over. We've talked about this team enough. We can move on to the Dublin Don Dozos. Shout out, Mr. Brian Powney, the goat. Dude, I can't believe we're gonna say this is the final time I think we get to say this. Another unique Mega Pokemon taken. The Mega Gardevoir. I think this is the first time we are seeing it. Paired with the Mousehold has been a super strong duo that teams in the metagame have been opting for. I think the support that Mousehold can provide Mega Gardevoir is super strong. And I mean, Mousehold, I think, is just the super versatile, really, really broken draft league mon. You have to now we get the wide lens item back in regulation MB. You have to be prepared for the offensive Mousehold sets and also the support. I think the support is really good with Mega Gardevoir, but also you could just run fast population bomb and hyper voice into like slower teams, and it'd be super strong. Paired with the Palafin and Staraptor. I think, again, Palafin, super interesting, see how it does. We put it down in A tier. Will that be a regret? I think with Friend Guard, like you could literally use Mousehold to just like sacrifice and get the Palafin out safely, and like not punish the switch in, just so you have it later. But super I think good core there with Mousehold Palafin. We also got the Dale. The Dale is on this team. I think
Mousehold Dale, a good pair.
Yeah, Mousehold Dale can set the Trick Room with Mega Gardevoir. Can final
We
Gambit.
didn't let Swamp do that in our division,
Yeah,
though. No, sir.
Final Final Gambit next to Trick Room, bringing the Dale. Got Mega Banette in Trick Room. Super good value there. I think Mega Banette's a really cool secondary Mega on this team. I think the Prankster option is really cool. And we got like fast Fake Out and Acid Spray with Salazzle support with Mega Gardevoir. I like a lot. And I think it's a really strong team. Expecting a lot of big things from Ryan this season.
I'm not gonna lie, I noticed a common theme between like all the Palafin teams, just like having really sound teams around them, and like that's like what I agree with Ryan's team. Looking at it, like overall, it just looks like one of the most like sound teams. Like it's good bonds at each value for what they do. Like Mousehold Premier, like Premium Follow Me, like Premium Redirection, Fast Taunt, Fast Super Fang, like Population Bomb because Wide Lens is back. Like, and I think a lot of people are like not going to be ready for that Population Bomb like Wide Lens set, or like really have to account for it in their prepping because of how fast like the 111 speed is. Like Mega Gardevoir, like it's kind of like that Mimikyu, like with a good option to play fast or slow. Star Raptor, like that's just the good value. It's like also great value, like of Tailwind support, like helping out like with some coverages for Palafin with that flying typing, so to help out against the grass mons that Palafin can't really beat. I think the setup Palafin next to support Mouse, like right now, like what I see is just like within his 4 mods alone is like a lot of different synergies and pairings that like you could do, and I think his support like weaves in really well like into doing that, like with Prankster, with stamina boosting or inner focus. Salazzle, like we talked about the last video, really fast, like really good encore support, Fake Out, good coverage typings.
Gets beat up as well.
Oh my, yeah, all right, like Gudra Hisui, freaking great setup mon for B tier value. I think Frostlass, Simisage, and Pangoro were also like really good value picks in C. Like, I guess like I said also like the thing that comes to mind with this team is sound, and like I really like how he drafted and what he did with the team, especially like for just coming back into draft as well, like being back in the league.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, I agree with this team just being such a like you guys say, sound team. This team can just play so interestingly, like being able to play different modes, being able to bring different Pokemon, and you can make it work, right? Like Mega Gardevoir, you can run it without the Mega and spam EQ Mudsdale with Telepathy Gardevoir next to it, in case you want to go with a different Mega option, Mega Banette. I think there's a lot of really interesting things this team can do, and just like you guys said, Palafin works really well on this on these types of teams where it's just more of a very strong addition rather than the team building around it. So I'm really liking how this team drafted, and all of their different defensive options, offensive options, and support options for sure. So I think it's going to be really interesting to be able to see. It's also interesting to see, like, is this team going to thrive in it's going to thrive in Trick Room, but is it also going to be taking advantage of that Tailwind mode in Staraptor? And teams got to watch out for that Mega Gardevoir Hyper Voice. That's one of the things that I don't think anybody, like, we haven't mentioned. Mega Gardevoir just hits like a truck, dude. And I think Fairy Stab in this meta is just so rare, like, other than your Floettes, that, like, it's gonna hit super hard. So I'm looking forward to see how this team does.
I'm looking
All right,
forward to
all right. I have
seeing.
one
Okay,
thing,
go.
and I'm gonna sound like the old me when I say this. I actually think that no wide guard on this team does hurt this team just a tad because he does have the best follow me user like redirector in that case, yes. But I think there's mods that could actually benefit in situations where like you might need like a spread like a spread coverage move, like if you lose like the mouse hold in that sense, or like even if you're not running supportive set, let alone like offensive, just having it. But that's like my only gripe with the team. But I don't even think it's like that bad for that matter. Like you still have mods like Mudsdale that'll punish like in the right situations off of the like the extra hits if worst case. Like
Yeah, for sure. I agree with
mhm,
that.
yeah.
I'm looking at this schedule and that week one opponent.
Oh,
How we feeling? I mean,
I think
obviously.
the game. I think the game's tomorrow, right? I gotta,
Oh,
I gotta,
oh boy.
Oh
gotta make sure
shoot,
I'm good
that's
for
fun.
I will be looking forward to that for sure. But
Yeah, for 100% for sure.
we can move to our final team, Mr. Bernard and his dirty shirts. Shout
Save
out,
the best for last, huh?
shout out Bernard. Uh, went with the. I think he had second pick. I think he had second pick, and
Second, yeah, he got whims,
yeah,
and he got the Metagross that Joey could have gotten, but like he waited and got it, which is pretty sick actually.
yeah. Whimsicott Metagross, I think, is a super cool duo. And pairing like your Fairy, Steel Dragon Core, finishing that with High Dragon, I think is super super strong. Um, I think Gyarados and A tier is really really good support value, and I think that core I think his S and A's are like they're just really really good picks.
Yo,
Um,
I love his SNA picks actually. Like looking at it, they cover each other
hmm
so well.
yeah, I mean this team has ample ground switch-ins. It's got good intimidate support. Whimsicott gets light screen. You have just a really really good synergistic core there.
Look at like alone the fact too. Like not only for Metagross do you have 2 ground resistances, but you have 2 fire resistances as well. Like in that, like your A picks alone, and I think that's what like really makes that core so good too.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I
I
think
think some of the C tiers are also just really good. Like one of the biggest things is, like, at least I've seen in like some draft leagues, like the Wolfie draft league, like Decidueye Sui hits super hard for being like, and his coverage is so nice, being to have Brave Bird, close combat, grass stab. I mean, if you throw Decidueye into like Evelyn's team where you have King Gambit, Mega Frostlass, it kind of just destroys both of those Pokemon with Scrappy. So it's just really cool. B tiers as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think maybe this team doesn't need Mega Heracross and Decidueye.
Yeah, agreed.
It feels a little repetitive, but I think Whimsicott Mega Heracross can be kind of strong. I think there was like a Japanese team that had that duo that like did pretty well or something. But
Mhm.
uh, little overlapping there. I think maybe a different Mega could have been cool. Because I think Decidueye can do the same thing with held items, and Scrappy's just such a good ability.
Yeah.
I think Skeletor
I think
is
his C tier is
underrated
being
in B
like
tier too.
Yeah, agreed. No, I think his C tier is being like his only true answers into flying types. For the most part, I guess Metagross is like your good resist.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying with like the double up pairing right there. You could probably get something to cover that just like a tad better. His SNA picks really carry like how well like his draft is. His B and C picks like they're kind of just there for me. I really like Mega Heracross is like I think Decidueye kind of gets like better value in that sense. Like Mega Heracross is super strong, but like I don't think you're losing much by having solo Mega Metagross on a team like this either. Like I think Dirge partners really well with the team also for typing wise and like resistances and like being able to do what it does like setup wise naturally. Slowbro Galar, I don't know what freaking the Whimsicott Hydreigon teams are obsessed with drafting this mom, but you know there's some kind of pair in there, and it's a fun mon like with Quick Claw being in the game. Having that soft weather mode too is good as well. Like not only like he doesn't have to rely on Whimsicott like to counter like the being that there's like a double rain and a sand team, so that's 1/3 of the like his league alone, and not like let's mention like a prankster team. So he's got like double answers into that, and I think that's what he covers really well. And like overall, I like the way that Bernard drafted. I like I said before, like Joey, his buddy drafted second and had to take Metagross second, thinking that it would get picked before him, which is like really good odds too. Like Metagross is a good Pokemon, but Bernard had the luxury of like taking a really good support mon second and then getting Mega Metagross on the wheel back, and I think that like is insane value also. Like
For sure. And the only thing I'd like be a little bit interested about is that I wish this team had a fake out Pokemon. I mean, I think
Yeah.
fake out would just be super nice with the type of Pokemon you have on this team. It's not completely necessary in a sense, just because you have like a Pokemon like Whimsicott, you could just double protect turn one and then Tailwind hit, right? But there's gonna be teams that can punish that, so maybe having like a fake out Pokemon could be really nice for this team. Also, I agree with the point of Mega Heracross being a little bit redundant, so definitely that's another thing to have. Other than that, though, I really do like the team. I think Whimsicott, if this was any other draft league format, like a Natdex format, I would say Whimsicott is not an S tier worthy Pokemon to grab like in the first 2-3 rounds, because you have like the
That's
cheap
a hot
Tailwind
take.
Fetish.
That's a really hot
I do
take.
not like
I respect
Whimsicott
it.
in standard draft, but I think I'll say this though. In Champions, I think it's definitely worth a first round pick, just because you don't have Pokemon that can Prankster Tailwind, Prankster, Fake Tears, Prankster Charm, all those two things. But in standard like Natdex, you could have the babies do that, dude. So, but
Oh, cheesy. That's you know what? Honestly, you were speaking so well the first 12 teams, and we had to really end it with take, brother.
oh really? You don't.
I had a cold take.
Yeah,
Dude,
Whimsicott is the most
baby draft
successful
has
Pokemon in this draft league's history. That is a take of the ages.
I mean, what's Whimsicott's pre-evolution? That thing in Natdex has everything.
Well, in
Whimsicott has.
Natdex, only in Natdex does Cottonee get Tailwind, but
That's true.
We did play Natdex last season, and it did. Cottonee definitely had some high. I think it was like 12 points or something crazy like that because of it.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like 12 or 11 for like, but I don't think unless Cottonee like learned Tailwind at one point, in Natdex like everyone kept their move sets that they had. So like, I don't know if you heard, but we accidentally let 3-point Fissure Machamp kind of sit there and like forgot that it learned it in Gen 1. But the benefit to counter that is that it had to only run a Gen 1 move set. So whatever your move set was, like in previous metas, if you forgot those moves, like you only can learn the move set from like that and like lower. So it kind of kept it balanced. Like it had an ass moves besides that, but yeah, it was there.
We had a fissure.
It was a thing.
We had a fissure epidemic. Machop was getting drafted.
We had Machop, Machoke, Machamp drafted in one of the divisions. It was so funny. Yeah, hysterical.
Yeah,
Like this is Natdex, keep in mind too. Like with Terra, so like it was cool for that fact, like seeing mods that like might never get the mechanic, like get to use it at least once.
For sure. I mean, yeah, the thing I was my question of the day answer for that one day with the support Pokemon was the what was it? Talonflame's like middle evolution. I think that Pokemon's Fletchinder, yeah.
Oh, Fletchinder, yeah. And you know what's crazy too? Like you said, like that is underrated where you don't get the benefit of the low point, like C tiers. Like you think half these ass C tier mega like fully Evos would get drafted, like compared to some of the like pre Evos that do have that like luxury support, and it's like, nah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
not fully evolved Mons in C tier was the vibe, but Champions is not allowing that these days. The only one's Pikachu. Pikachu gets mascot privileges.
Yo, Pikachu's goated, bro. My one kill was against Pikachu last. He got that. Pikachu's goated.
But I'll say the opposite about Whimsicott. Whimsicott's amazing in Champions, so I'll give him the credit where it's due. That's a good first pick.
Pokemon is amazing all the time.
Yeah.
You are entitled to your opinion. But that wraps up us going over all the teams. As we always do, I will ask you, gentlemen. Cheesy, obviously, besides your own, what is your favorite team that we've talked about?
Other than my own, I'll say, let's see. I think the Glasgow Gengars are gonna do super well. I think just that team just does such strong Pokemon in the S and A tiers, and I mean being able to. We're not battling this season, but if we were to battle, that would be a fun match to be able to have, Sun versus Sun. But I think they're going to be really strong just with the points or with the tools they have. Megazord X is just going to hit like a truck in Sun, so that's who I'm giving my bets to.
I like that pick.
That's a cool take. I like that. Kev, you want to go next or me?
You can go if you.
I guess I'll go next. I guess I got it. Cheesy, I'm a little jealous that your Garchomp doesn't have to hold a Mega Stone, but I'm jealous that Andreas' Charizard doesn't have to hold a Mega Stone, and he's got the Klefki support that I love for my team. And I really gotta go Andreas, bro. I think the team he picked up was so cool. Like, I like your team. I like your team a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I think just the way he's like going about this season as a newcomer and like first timer, and I think like revolving around such like a different strategy with like good supportive mods overall, and like
it's a sick team, dude.
It's such a sick team, dude. I'm rooting for the best for him, but honestly, since we have a lot of the same Pokemon, I hope you win. And I hope that's a sign for freaking our division too.
I hope you win too, bro. We'll be in the same division soon, bro.
Oh wait, no! Don't say that. Don't say that. No, you gotta wait at least 2 years, brother.
Yeah, I'll wait 2 years.
Nah, you and Kev might have almost been in the same division last season. But he dodged a bullet. He won out. He did what he had to do at the end. That's all that mattered.
Swiftly moving on from that.
Yeah,
I just got a random battle challenge on Showdown from Danger Noodle VGC. Shout out Danger, whoever the hell you are. I don't know why you're challenging me to a random battle, but shout out you.
I like that.
Yeah, shout out them. I mean,
we need to endorse more of that. Just challenging someone random on random battles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think after all that dilly-dallying,
after all that,
I've been giving honorable mentions. I'll give an honorable mention to Foster, to Breezy. I think the Trick Room like support team. I still don't kind of get the Mega Electros, but I think the rest of it is really cool. I think the Mimikyu. Once I talked about the Mimikyu value out loud, saying Trick Room, I liked it. But I'm actually gonna go. I'm usually against Rain, but I like Cat's team. I think the outside of like the fake out value you get in C tier, I'm not like a huge fan of the picks, but I think the S or B tiers are like super valuable picks, and I really like the way she went with Rain. It's a lot different than the other variants, like maybe Mega Swampert or something. I like the Mega she went with, and I think is actually a really cool team. So
Yeah, honestly, the 2 solo megas by themselves, that's cool. You
Yeah.
got to root for that, I
They're
guess.
so strong as well.
Yeah, I'm
hmm
excited to see how they do. Because like we said,
No, I kind of agree with you. I think the B value actually might be like low key the best.
yo, B
What
value
she's
could
getting
go
out of it.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, no,
And
I
both
like that.
ways.
I like that. Yeah. I don't even think that the C value is like like the C value is right there as well. Like Toucan's an oddball pick, but like I mean skill link and like the moves it learns are funny, so like you could do whatever with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But okay, I think that wraps up our final division draft recap. Great
Uh-huh.
Ball division is done.
Uh,
The Cada season 5 of Regulation MB is about to begin. We are currently in week 1. Not many games have been played, but the season is upon us, and it is super exciting times. Me and Alex play each other week 1, so
funny enough, yeah. So
that'll be very interesting. That is also
yeah,
happening tomorrow.
nice fun season starter.
Yeah, that is also happening tomorrow. So I am excited. I hope everyone else is excited.
I'm
Cheesy,
excited. No Volt picks this year, Kev.
yeah,
No
true. I'm
pre
safe.
Evos.
I'm
So
safe from Volpigs. But Cheesy, thank you for joining.
I appreciate it, bro. I'm really excited to
no,
be in
you
the
were
league.
awesome, bro. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's gonna be an awesome season.
Yes, sir. And Alex has been with me all 3 draft recaps. Hey, Alex, thank you for being a trooper. Thank you for joining me. It's been fun.
No, I love talking about draft. 36 teams got me feeling some type of way though. It was a crazy ride, but it was fun. It's awesome to see the league expand this season too to the 3rd division. Like it's cool to see more people playing draft and like being able to expand and like honestly like the cool part about Cada, what really brings it together is just like people from different regions. Like you get to like we have so many different like players from around like different parts of the world, and that's like honestly one of the coolest things to see, like just everyone come together for the part, and cross Atlantic communication, I guess, and some draft battling fun, especially in the champions meta with the game so accessible on cart. Like it's gonna be fun to see a lot of live battles this season.
Yeah, I am excited to play on cart tomorrow. Excited for what this new season holds with 3 divisions, and excited to be done talking about the drafts for sure. It has been a ride, but thank you everyone for watching. It has been fun. Stay tuned stay tuned for more content from about the draft from myself. I'll probably do a team breakdown maybe. Obviously me and Alex have our draft battle this week, so stay tuned for that. We'll be on cart. Will be super fun, and thank you everyone for watching, listening, and peace.
Peace.
Yeah.